Hello and welcome to Bible Study with Alice, and today, on day 143, Psalm 143 of our daily Psalm reading, we are reading from the ESV translation, but you're more than welcome to join us from a different translation. As you can see, we are on Psalm 143. These videos are filmed in real time. Today's date is the 26th of March 25 and it's a Wednesday. You can find the previous 142 Psalms in the playlist below. There is a disclaimer as usual, and that is one that these videos are unedited and also probably stumble my wording. Let's get started. My soul thirsts for you, a psalm of David. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my pleas for mercy. In your faithfulness, answer me in your righteousness. Enter not into judgment with your servant, for no one living is righteous before you. For the enemy has pursued my soul. He has crushed my life to the ground. He has made me sit in darkness like those long dead. Therefore my spirit faints within me. My heart within me is appalled. I remember the day of old. I meditate on all that you have done. I ponder the work of your hands. I stretch out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like parched land. Selah. Answer me quickly, O Lord. My spirit fails. Hide not your face from me, lest I be those who go down to the pit. Let me hear in the morning of your steadfast love, for in you I trust. Make me know the way I should go. For to you I lift up my song. Deliver me from my enemies, O Lord. I have fled with you for refuge. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on the level ground. For your name's sake, O Lord, preserve my life. In your righteousness, bring my soul out of trouble. And in your steadfast love, you will cut off my enemies, and you will destroy all the adversaries of my soul, for I am your servant. So that is Psalm 143 complete. Tomorrow we will be doing Psalm 144, which is just on the other side of the page. And for those who are new to the channel, I split the video into three parts. The first part, we talk about the psalm that we read the psalm that we just, as we just read, we read the psalm. Then we go into talking about the psalm time periods. And then at the end, the third part, we will then talk about the psalm that we've just read, which is obviously Psalm 143. So with the psalm time periods, the psalms were written over 1,000-year time period. And they're written by multiple authors, but it does seem to be the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days we're on about David, King David, that is obviously. So it does seem like I've been on a stuck record. Feels like I'm a stuck record, to be fair, because it does feel like I'm actually just talking about the same thing. But the thing with the Psalms, they are generally written they're written by multiple authors, but there are a lot, and a huge chunk of them are by the same author, which happened to be David, surprisingly enough. And so it does make me then feel like I'm a stuck record, because I'm not obviously a stuck record, because it's just that a lot of these Psalms were written by the same author. But yeah, if you've been watching my videos the last 4 days, you'll know I'm a stuck record. If you're thinking, yeah, Alice, you told me this yesterday, you told me this the day before, and the day before that, and so forth. So yeah. So the Psalms, I'm going to split into like 3 sub-parts. So the first part is the Psalms that had a time period, a author, and an event that's linked to it. And those type of Psalms that historians and scholars, they spend a lot of time figuring this out. They dig deep into all the studying of the biblical texts and stuff. They go right deep into it all. But they kind of know those ones when they were written. And, that, if you're like myself, and I am aware that there are a lot of people like this, so yeah, if you like myself, you like to be able to know and visualise all what's going on, you know, be able to understand how people lived in that time period. And yeah, so those psalms are very helpful to have a time period and an event and the author. Those psalms I do generally think I put them up there basically. I think they're great, but I am fully aware that that's not always the case, and there are a lot of psalms, a good chunk of psalms to be fair. Now bear in mind, in the book of Psalms we've got 150, so you can imagine it's going to be quite a big chunk of both, of the ones with a time period and ones without. And that is unknown, as in an unknown time period or an unknown author with an event linked to it. So what I mean by that is it could be written during captivity. Now, you know, historians and scholars will kind of have an idea of when that probably would have been, but it doesn't necessarily mean when, at the start, middle, or end. It doesn't kind of say when, just that would be an event. It could be during like Babylonian exile, captivity, famine, war, conflict, anything basically. And then you've got those psalms where it's unknown, as in it's an unknown time period, unknown author, and there's no event linked to it. And all historians and scholars know is that that psalm had been written for the Bible, but we just don't know any more than that. So with Psalm 143, it is by David, and we know that because it did actually state it. A Psalm of David. And like I said, it mentions it in all the other ones. So it is a psalm by David. He was like the author, but we don't know really more about it. Just that it was during his life. We don't know if it was during the start of his life, you know, like his youth, if it was during his reign as king, start, middle, or end, or even if it was like towards the later stages of his life. We just don't know anything about it, to be fair. Just that it was written by David during his life. And it is a lament, and it's a powerful prayer by David expressing his distress and seeking God's mercy and forgiveness. Now, I have spoken about lament. I feel like I've been speaking about it all week. In this particular video, I went deep into it about lament, and I talked about it as in how it affects us in our everyday occurrence. I mentioned it in this one as well, but I didn't go into detail, so I would recommend you go into Psalm 141, day 41, to be able to get a better understanding of it. I had to add in 43. I had to add it in because I forgot to add it in at the start, because that's just how I am. So we will talk about lament, but I mean, I won't go into it deep into it. You just need to go back to that video to get the in-depth of it. So a lament is a type of prayer. A song that is a cry for God to act in the midst of pain and grief. They are the Psalms, and they're probably going to be a couple more. I'm not going to lie, there is going to be a couple more, but not many more. And so above are laments. They're personal feeling. They're the most common type of psalm. They often begin with an invocation to God, followed by the lament and request for help, and ends with an expression of trust in God. That's basically what it is. And as I said, in Psalm 141, I did actually go into it properly, like how we would then put that into our own everyday life, how we would talk about how, you know, an example of a prayer, an example of how we would put trust into God when we're waiting for something, things like that. You know, I did go into quite a lot of detail in that particular video, so I would recommend going to that one. So back to this. So as it's a powerful prayer by David expressing his distress and seeking God's mercy and righteousness. Now with this, David would have had to obviously invite God in to his sacred space, And his lament would have been him expressing his distress and, seeking mercy and all that. So he would have, expressed his distress to God. And then he would have requested help, which is obviously seeking God's mercy and guidance. And then he would have left that with God to deal with and to sort it out for him. So that is a lament. And now, it was mentioned in verse 6, just here, Salah. We have to go back to the start. So here, Salah is a rest, pause and reflection. So, to be able to understand it, my belief of Salah is everything before it. So if it's a rest or a pause, it's the bit before it. That's basically what I mean by it. So they would have done that part, and then they would have taken a break and come into this part here. So this would then be the second section to it. So they would have done all that, taken a break, a pause, a rest stop, and then continued on with this part here. So that is Psalm 143 complete. I am going to write in the day and the date, and it is day 143, and it's the 26th of the 3rd, 25, and it's a Wednesday today. And tomorrow we will be doing Psalm 144. So, thank you for watching. Please like my content, please subscribe to my channel, and please turn on the notification bell so you then get notified of content that gets uploaded like this. And all my videos get uploaded ready for viewing at 11 AM UK time. So yeah, thank you and goodbye.